Ever feel like AI is reading your mind? Well, get ready for a role reversal, because today we're peeking into the mind of a machine.
Yeah, we're diving deep into a fascinating new method for understanding how large language models, those AI systems that seem to, write like we do, actually process information.
We're dissecting a July 2024 research paper from Google AI. Uh, can large language models explain their internal mechanisms? And trust me, the answer is a resounding yes. And the results are, well, they're mind-boggling. They're secret weapon. A little something called patch scopes.
Imagine like being able to pinpoint the precise moment an AI goes from processing the word Diana as just a jumble of letters to understanding it refers to, say, the Princess of Wales. Patch scopes make this kind of insight possible.
It's like having a backstage pass to the AI's thought process. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's unpack what patch scopes actually are.
Okay, so in the simplest terms, patch scopes allow researchers to kind of manipulate the flow of information within an LLM, sort of like redirecting a train to a different track.
Okay, so we're not talking about rewriting the AI's code, but rather influencing what it focuses on as it processes information.
Precisely. LLMs have these hidden layers where information is, transformed and combined to create meaning. Patch scopes allow us to momentarily patch into these hidden layers.
So instead of just observing the AI's final output, we're getting a glimpse into the step-by-step process of how it gets there. Tell me more about these hidden layers. It sounds like that's where the magic really happens.
It's fascinating, really. Imagine these hidden layers as a series of rooms, each representing a different stage of information processing. The information enters the first room, gets analyzed, transformed, and then passed on to the next room for further processing, and so on.
And with patch scopes, we're able to peek into each of these rooms, see how the information is being manipulated at each stage.
Exactly. And what's really interesting is what they found when they used patch scopes to study how LLMs understand entities. Things like people, places, objects.
Right, because it's one thing for an AI to recognize the word Dubai, but it's another thing entirely for it to understand that Dubai is a city, a travel destination, a hub for innovation.
And that's where things get really wild. They found that the AI processes this type of information in reverse order. So like in the case of Dubai, it starts with the I and works backward, gradually building context with each letter.
Hold on, the AI is reading backward. That's incredible. It's like it's solving a puzzle by starting with the last piece.
That's a great way to put it. It highlights just how differently these LLMs can operate compared to our own brains. But this reverse processing was a consistent pattern they observed, particularly when it came to understanding entities.
Okay, so we can see how the AI pieces together its understanding of a word like Dubai. But how do we know if it's truly grasped the meaning, all the nuances that make Dubai unique?
That's where the inspection prompt comes in. Think of it as a pop quiz for the AI. So we pick up our exploration of patch scopes with a question. Once the AI has processed a word or concept, like how does it connect the dots to answer more complex questions?
It's like that game show where you have 6 degrees of separation. The AI needs to find the links between different pieces of information, right?
You got it. Except instead of Kevin Bacon, we're talking about multi-hop reasoning. It's this fascinating area where AI research is really, really heating up.
Multi-hop reasoning. Okay, you're going to have to break that down for me.
Imagine you ask an AI, what is the largest city in the country known for creating the first cappuccino?
Okay, even I know that's Italy,
Yeah.
and their biggest city is Rome. But I can see how that might be tricky for an AI.
Exactly. It might have each fact tucked away somewhere in its knowledge base, but weaving them together requires a very specific type of reasoning. And it turns out, this is where LLMs can sometimes trip up. They have all the ingredients for a delicious answer, but might not know the right order to combine them in.
So where does patch scopes fit into all this? Are we talking about adding in missing ingredients or like rearranging the steps in the recipe?
It's more like providing a gentle nudge in the right direction, Researchers found that by using patch scopes, they could essentially intervene at critical points in the AI's reasoning process.
Intervene. So we're not just passively observing anymore. We're interacting with the AI's thought process in real time.
In a way, yes. And what's fascinating is that they discovered this technique called patching backwards to be surprisingly effective. It's like giving the AI a little reminder, a nudge, to say, hey, remember this crucial piece of information you processed earlier? Let's factor that back in before you jump to conclusions.
It's like when you're reading a mystery novel and you have to flip back a few pages to remind yourself of a clue you missed.
Precisely. And by strategically patching in the correct information at these earlier stages, they were able to guide the AI toward more accurate and logically sound responses.
It's like we're not just understanding how the AI thinks anymore, we're starting to subtly shape its thought process.
It's a powerful concept, and it opens up some exciting avenues for future research.
So what's next for patch scopes? Are we going to see AI chefs whipping up Michelin star answers to any question we throw at them?
Well, not quite yet, but the possibilities are definitely tantalizing. One area researchers are particularly excited about is automating the patching process. Right now, it's a bit manual, but imagine if we could teach an algorithm to identify the optimal patch locations.
Yeah.
That would be a game changer in terms of efficiency and scalability.
It would be like having a sous chef in the AI kitchen, making sure all the ingredients are added in the right order at just the right time.
Exactly. And then there's the potential for applying patch scopes to different types of AI models. We've been focusing on LLMs, but what about AI that plays chess, composes music, or even controls robots?
Now you're really getting my gears turning. But before we get too carried away with the what ifs, let's come back to the here and now. We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still one big question looming. Why should the average person care about patch scopes and the inner workings of AI?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And it's something we'll delve into in our final act. We'll be exploring the profound implications of this research for the future of AI, both the exciting opportunities and the potential challenges we need to address as these technologies become even more integrated into our lives.
So we've spent this episode exploring patch scopes, this revolutionary tool that allows us to lift the veil on AI's decision-making process. But tools are only as good as the hands that wield them, right?
Absolutely. Understanding the how behind AI is fascinating,
Yeah.
but like you said, it's the why that truly matters.
Exactly. So as AI becomes more integrated into our lives, from healthcare to finance, even, creative pursuits, what does it mean to responsibly use a tool that can, for lack of a better phrase, peek into the minds of machines?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? On one hand, this level of insight is invaluable. Imagine being able to pinpoint why an AI model makes a specific medical diagnosis or recommends a certain financial strategy. This understanding builds trust and allows for more informed decision-making, both by humans and the AI systems themselves.
But like you said, it's a double-edged sword. Having the ability to peer into these hidden layers also comes with a responsibility to do so ethically, right?
Precisely. Take, for example, the potential for bias. With patch scopes, we might be able to pinpoint precisely where and how an AI develops biases based on its training data. Imagine being able to go in and address those biases at their root, leading to fairer, more equitable AI systems across the board.
So instead of just throwing our hands up and saying, well, the AI said so, we can actually start to unpack the reasoning and make meaningful improvements. That feels like a game changer, especially in areas like loan applications or criminal justice, where even subtle biases can have real-world consequences.
Absolutely. But this level of transparency also raises new questions.
Yeah.
How do we ensure that these tools are used responsibly? Who gets access to this kind of deep-level understanding of AI?
It's like we've stumbled upon a powerful artifact, and now we need to figure out how to use it wisely. Are there any, safeguards in place, or is this uncharted territory?
It's still early days, but these conversations are already happening. Researchers are exploring ways to build ethical frameworks around tools like patch scopes, ensuring they're used to create more transparent and accountable AI systems, not to, exploit or manipulate them.
It's almost like we're writing the rule book for a whole new era of AI development. And it's not just up to the researchers, right? We, as the end users of these technologies, have a responsibility to stay informed and engaged in these conversations.
I couldn't agree more. The future of AI isn't something that's simply handed down to us. It's something we actively shape through our questions, our concerns, and our demand for responsible development.
So to our listeners, I'll ask, what kind of future do you envision for AI? What role do you want these technologies to play in your lives? And what questions do you have about the ethical implications of tools like patch scopes? We'd love to hear your thoughts. This is just the beginning of the conversation, and we're excited to see where it leads us. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Indeed. As we venture deeper into the mind of the machine, we must remember that the most crucial exploration is the one we undertake within ourselves, questioning, learning, and working together to shape a future where AI benefits all of humanity.